this is what drove me. And I think before we start talking about money, guys, and all the accolades, all the lifestyle stuff, and all that, everything that that we all want in life, right? I think it's important for us to understand why we're here and why we're doing what we're doing. Okay? So my thing, when I got started, was before we got married, my future wife at that time, girlfriend, right? She was working at this factory where they were producing window blinds, okay, for windows. And so one time I come visit her, and I see her, she's at work, right? She's working on the production line, hands all greasy and dirty in grease and stuff. And I look at through the window, I'm like, I didn't realize she was working that hard at that time, you know? And so we were talking about getting married and everything. So I made a decision in my, inside of me that I will not have my wife working when we get married. My motivation was I wanted to make sure that she can stay home and she can do what she wants to do, right? If she wants to work, she can, but, I would prefer her not to work, right? Just stay home, just chill, just have, take her out and let her mind. Okay, so that was my motivation. Okay, that's why, and so when we got married, I'm working for the bank, $300 a week, all that money goes to pay for the bills for the apartment that we lived in, one-bedroom apartment in a ghetto neighborhood. And you know what I realized? I realized that there's no possible way, there's no way in the world that I would be able to retire my wife from work and support my family. We have children. To be able to support my family in a way, not only to just get by, just pay for the bill and have $1 left in your bank account, right? But we wanted to travel the world. We wanted to. I was always since high school. I was always into these little businesses. MLM. I tried, some vitamin nutritional companies, and but I remember when I was like 18 or 17. A lady approached me at the mall. See, when I was 18 or 17, I looked like I was 30. I had the big hair, and so people thought I was, like 30. So she approached me, and she's like, hey, you want to earn money? Do you want to earn, an extra? I don't remember how much she said per month. I'm like, yeah, of course I will, right? And so she was a distributor of a network marketing or a multi-level marketing company. She told me that she makes about $10,000 a month. And that's what I needed to hear. $10,000 a month, I'm in, sign me up, right? So she says, okay, you gotta order this, the products, and it's gonna be an auto ship thing. But you gotta order, like $3,000 worth of products, something like that. So I did, right? I did it without, letting my parents know, because I was living with my parents at the time. And I got all these boxes, being shipped, and I didn't sell a single thing. I didn't sell a single thing. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to have this extravagant lifestyle. I wanted to buy cool stuff in life. But until I figured out what my why was, I couldn't do it. So my why was I wanted to make sure that I can provide for my family. We can, travel and live a nice lifestyle. I'm working for a bank. Come across a business opportunity, $7,000 to get in. And I'm researching on YouTube. This was like back 8 years ago. It's not that long ago, right? And I see all these guys, promoting that and putting up all these screenshots and how much money they're making, their cars and their houses. I'm like, man, that's what I want to have. That's what I want for my family, And so I got so fired up, guys. I was bombarding my mind with the future, right? With how I wanted my life to look like in the future, right? And I got so convinced, man. You could not convince me that I was not living that kind of lifestyle when I was working for a banking industry, right? So what I do is, I come across this company, $7,000 to get in, but I don't have any money. I don't have any, credit to go to the bank, young, right? So what I do is I go to a buddy of mine who owns a business. I'm like, man, I need to borrow some money. Can you borrow me some money? I'm going to start this business. I'm going to make money. 90 days, I'm going to pay you off. Can you help me out, man? I got so fired up. I was convinced. There's no possible way this can go wrong. I was sure this is going to work, right? So he's like, all right, how much money do you need? I'm like, okay, so it's $7,000 to get started. I will get some marketing money, and then it would be nice to quit my job right now. So I said, okay, can you give me $30,000? You're crazy, $30,000. How are you going to pay that off? Don't worry about it, man. I'm going to pay you off. I promise. 90 days later, it's going to be paid off. I'm so fired up. But we were good friends. he knows me, he knows my parents, so he's like, all right, man. But he told me, I don't have, $30,000, but I can go to the bank, my house is paid off, I can take it, I ask my house, and I can give it to you. Cool, so I write a little note saying I'm going to pay you back in 90 days, everything's good, I kept the $30,000. I invested $7,000 into an opportunity, and I start throwing money into advertising, right? Google pay-per-click, this and that, and so 90 days later, I realized that I just wasted $20,000 gone. And what I did is, as soon as I joined that company, I quit my job. Okay? I quit my job because I was so sure I would make it, right? So no income coming in. 90 days later, I realized that 20,000 is gone, and we made a deal with my wife that 10,000 we're going to leave that to pay our bills, and and put the food on the table because I'm not working. She's not working. I retired her right away. So $20,000 gone, and I made exactly zero, guys. Zero money. It sounds like it's made up story, but if my wife was here, she would confirm that. She is at home with the kids. This is how I got started in this industry, guys. Okay? And I had to make a decision. Do I go and pursue my dream, right? Do I pursue the lifestyle that I'm envisioning, that I have been so passionate about, right? Or do I go get a job and try to pay the $30,000 off? What would you do in that situation? And you have zero income coming in, you got bills coming in, right? You got to feed your family. And see, over those 90 days, the $10,000 we had set aside to support the family, that money was being used for stuff like food on the table, bills, right? And all of that stuff. So we're down to, I don't know, $5,000 or $6,000, something like that. And we had to make a decision, guys. We had to make a decision. What do we do? Okay? What would you guys do? Seriously, what would you do? Put yourself in that situation. We got down to the point where I did not have $1.19 to my bank account, guys. Did not have $1.19 to my bank account. To go to the Walmart and buy a loaf of bread to feed my family. Being in that situation, guys, what does it feel like? And I know that a lot of you guys can relate to that, right? Being in a position to where you are helpless and hopeless, okay? To where you have no idea what's going to happen to you tomorrow. You have no idea how you're going to buy bread for your family tomorrow. You have no idea. I was in that position, okay? And you have $30,000 burden on your shoulders that you need to pay within 90 days, okay? But it's already past due, okay? Before I got, right before I got to the zero thing, right, which had just a few $100 or maybe $1,000, maybe less than $2,000 left. Here's what changed everything for me, folks. Okay, everything changed for me. This. I started to look around online, and then this time I got serious. I would stay up until 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. There was no plan B for me. I made a decision with my wife. We had a talk. Baby, I'm not going to go to work to pay out this thing. That was not even an option. Okay? That was not even an option. Guys, no plan B. If you're writing stuff down, you might want to write this down. If you have a plan B, you're going to fail. I think that. But in your heart of hearts, in your mind, if you have something that you can rely on later, well, I'm going to try this power thing right here. Just get it for $25. I'm just going to dip my toes in the water just to see how it's going to go. But if I don't make money within my first 2 weeks, I'm just going to jump in this deal. Or maybe I have this JOB, right? Which you guys know what it stands for, yeah? Just overall, yeah? I can get my $300 a week in paycheck here, but that's secure. I know that Friday comes and I'm going to have $300 in my account. But all of you guys, okay? All of you guys can have what you want. Okay? You guys can have what you want. I'm about to tell you exactly how to get it. Okay? But that's where I came from. Okay? What everything changed for me is when I came across a mentor who told me straight up. He's like, dude. He didn't say dude. He was an older guy. He was more professional than that. But he said, if you want to make money, you need to first of all, you need to become the person, right? That you want to, if you're earning $1,500 or $2,000 a month right now, how in the world are you going to earn 20? It's not going to happen unless you become that $20,000 a month person. Unless you see yourself right now, okay, as a $100,000 a month earner, folks, and you cannot kid yourself, okay? You cannot fake that stuff. You cannot tell your neighbor that I'm going to be a millionaire, or I'm going to earn $20,000 or $10,000 or heck, even $3,000 if you don't believe it, okay? You're not going to do it. You can talk about it, but you're not going to do it. So, it was easy for me because I had no plan B. So I decided to do whatever he tells me I'm going to do. Okay, and you guys heard my story. You know, I say this, you know, if you would tell me to stand on one foot and make phone calls, I would do it. Folks, I was that teachable. Okay, I was that teachable because there was no plan B and there was my vision, and I wanted to reach that. So I started to, you know, get myself a coach, got myself an internet marketing coach, and what I started to realize was that what I was learning and what I was implementing in my business was not actually working. And when I started to work on myself and started to implement certain strategies in my business, which I'm going to talk about, and we're going to talk about more about that stuff tomorrow as well. Folks, 90 days later, guys, I'm going to repeat it, 90 days later, I paid off my $30,000 loan, and I made $20,000 profit. I'm telling you, like it's whatever.